Hello, folks.
Duchesne of France.
Just getting the last few things set up.
And here's where history is being made. Cruz Chambry from the Virgin Islands will win the first ever Virgin Islands.
Figure out what's wrong with my audio. There we go. Now we got stuff.
Attack.
And David King's voice, and I read everything.
And David Sakbate of Georgia, our video referee. And Korea, Mihail Pagiev, our floor judges. First semifinal is underway.
All right, let's get started. Got a tall lefty versus a slightly shorter Hungarian fellow, and we're gonna meet this now. David King is not my co-commentator. Very blade active, heavy fencer on the right, Ryan Ramil Ruspide versus the Montcos Pellet on the left. I do not know how to pronounce any of these names. Oh, Talon left and still willing to commit like that. It's going to be a good bout. I'm just trying to figure out how to get a chat view and everything, and there we go. That's what I was looking for. All right, 3-2, and now I'm focused. Yeah, focused. Longer distance, immediate foot touch, but out of distance, so nothing really done. Looks like Ramiro Speed is looking for, well, I was going to say looking for blade contact, but pulls in Pele too close and gets a straight attack. Very nicely done. So far we've had one really good, like, 4 tempo. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. This is everywhere. Can't let that happen. Talking to the coach, getting a little bit of a lesson, slightly arguing with the coach maybe. If anything, Pele needs to be a little bit more patient. He can keep Rami out, but he keeps throwing himself into distance. And that's where Rami gets him a lot. I mean, if you could do that, then I can understand why you would want to, but a little bit more patience and then do that, and it goes a long way. Cleaning the strip like a good person for the next person, even though this is like the semis. It's such an interesting attack, honestly, because he's coming back like a foil attack, but he knows Ram is looking for the parry. Same kind of idea, but this time around, he counterattacks. So Pele was going in with his arm very far back, looking for the parry, takes it back, disengages around and pushes him halfway down the ship to get 2 touches like that. And then for his 5th, Rami counterattacks. And classic counterattack in reverse from Pele. Got a bit of a barn burner here with 11 touches in under 2 minutes. Cadets are just so active. No patience. All the athleticism, none of the patience. In for the counterattack from Pele. Rami doing a very push-poke kind of a thing. A little bit farther out of distance. He wanted Pele to take one more step in, I think, and he didn't quite get it. But a good flush to pull out a double anyway. Nice. Classic counterattack from Pele. We may not make the second period. Feels like a saber bout. Good flesh from Rami. Caught Pele with his arm extended. Took it. Pele tried to pull back, but too slow to beat the flesh. Poke, poke. Poke, poke. Too high, too low. Yeah. Rami's really good, clearly. Semifinals of Cadet Worlds. But just doesn't quite have the fine polish that he needs to make touches like that work. His setup was good, just shorted his lunge a little bit or didn't quite go far enough. Okay, we are going to make the second period, but 9-7 into the second is very high. If you're watching this and you don't know what's going on, because I'd like to end this stream at everybody, this is Epee. It is the conceptually simplest of the weapons, the 3 weapons. There's a little button on the tip, and if you push the button on your opponent, the light goes off, and if the light goes off, you get a point. Doesn't matter where you hit them, and it doesn't matter how you hit them, as long as the light goes off. It's a lot about push, pull, and setting up and getting your opponent to commit to the wrong thing or not commit to the right thing so that you can hit them in that moment of opportunity. What I think we need to see from both fencers is a little bit more patience. They both have very good setups that both of them have used at least 2 or 3 times a piece. And they just need to wait a little bit more time to use them and make sure it's set up a little bit better. You know, fence boring, fence to win. Pele gliding forward. Both go at the same time. These ships are dangerous, but they've been using them for 50 years and nobody looks to change. So I think we'll have to wait till somebody sprains an ankle or breaks a leg. Which I hope doesn't happen, but I wish they'd change it before it happened. Oh, that was phenomenal. The same massive jump forward from Pele. Rami pulls back and pulls back again. Finally catches the last action with an excellent Pele riposte. Very clean, very tight, very high difficulty. And Pele does the same thing right back to him. That same flash, it's been a single or a double. Finally, he gets the parry in time. Push a little bit from Pele. Rami's turn to go for the foot. And back to the flush for the double. He has to stop doing that because he doesn't have any time left to double. He's got an entire other period to go with after this one, and this one's barely even started. Rami really needs to take his time, set up one really good touch. That wasn't it. That was a touch that he got, and that's good, but he barely got it ahead of the counter, and he didn't take the time to set it up properly. That was more likely to be a double than a single. Rami pushes. And that's a touch worth analyzing because it's at least the third one he's done on a very foil attack. The names are the wrong way around on the bottom. Oh my god, Nirso, you're right. And I can see the mask too, and I should have noticed. I just didn't even react. Anyway, Pele needs to take some time and breathe and relax. He's got most of the second, more than half the second, most of the third. Rami's looking like a foilist and making it work by catching Pele going backwards and then making sure he keeps going backwards. Now that it's over and we have some time, let's go take a look at that again. I believe it was this touch. No. Maybe. Another, I don't, no. Okay, so maybe the 12th touch. We're going to look at that again, and we're going to look at that in slow motion because this was such a good touch. No, that's subtitles. I can read. 7/5 speed. Look at this. This is goes backwards, and as he goes backwards, right as his back foot hits the ground, Rami comes in with his arm all the way back because he knows Pele is just going to be swiping for the blade, can't get his arm in time, so it doesn't need to extend. That's so dangerous, such a high level touch. That's the future of Epee right there, is basically foil, where foil is now squirmy counterattacks. That's not the draw pull. The draw pull is an extension, then you pull back to avoid the parry, then you go forward again. He doesn't even stick his arm out, he just runs forward. I don't think he sticks his arm out. Maybe it is a draw pull. Yeah, there's an extension there. Still a high level touch. Let's see where we are live. Noam Duchesne versus Chambry Cruz. Pele translates to clown in Finnish. Well, it's a little tiny world. Foil supremacy. All the good foilists are actually epeists. That's why nobody watches foil. I forget what ISV stands for, which is a little embarrassing, but it means that this is a new country. Although honestly, I suspect that he's just got citizenship, but still good to see new people on new countries represented. Maybe it'll be the beginnings of it. Much slower bout. As you can see, we've about to hit non-combativity, which was we never in threat of in the last bout. Almost got it. Flick from Chambry. Attempted flush from Duchesne. Almost got it. Okay, ISV is the Virgin Islands. I'm not sure what the I stands for. This looks like a less athletic Ngfak on the right. Well, he is French. And he is still probably like 16, so hasn't fully finished into his athleticism yet. Very patient on the right from Duchesne. You are a foilist and you watch foil, and you are the only one. I don't even watch foil, and I put out foil videos every month. I believe the French have a very centralized system for the size and the popularity of their country. If you're a junior or a cadet in the high level, you're probably at INSEP or Levallois, and those two train pretty closely together, I think. Good hit by Duchesne. Stylistically, you think this is the most aesthetically pleasing? It's certainly up there. I think I like a little bit more active blade work for aesthetics, just because it looks cooler. But it's certainly effective, and it does look clean. See what Chambry can do to make something happen. Very passive in distance, which is probably to Duchesne's, which is probably to Chambry's benefit. That's definitely what I was going to say. Anyway, Duchesne a little bit more active now. Oof, saw the blade bend, couldn't quite get it done. Shane a little bit more active now, trying to get something up because he knows Chambry's got the distance, will make it work. Now we got some movement. End of this at first. Oof, what a way to end it. You really like how Ingefak and Mincarelli fence super clean without much swashbuckling. That makes sense because you're Nordic and Estonia is all about clean fencing. I think that's an Estonian country. Having trouble picturing either of those in my head right now. I am not, I know a lot about a lot of fencers, but not every one. Maybe between periods we'll take a look at them on the database. So clean. The French are very clean, very upright, very patient. The Estonians will never overextend. The Italians will never let a point go by without arguing. The Americans will shout. All right, second period. Chambry. Not so much taking the distance as Duchesne is giving him. Sorry, not distance. Not so much. Chambry is not so much taking control of the bout as Duchesne is actively giving it up. Chambry will push and go back a little bit. Duchesne will push a little and go back a lot. And so they end up in Duchesne's part of the strip. They're going to hit non-com again. Maybe. That was close. Oof. Should have been in touch 5 seconds before. You can tell how much the ref believes your weapon will fail by how much checking they do before they hit it. If it's an obvious miss, then they'll just pop it. If it's maybe, they'll check the body cord on both ends. And if they really think you probably missed them, they'll make sure the blade is tight, they'll make sure your tip screws are there, they'll do everything. Good touch from Chambry to take the lead there. But we got a lot about to go still, even though the other one was done by now. And Duchesne's got to be a little bit more patient. That kind of a big foot touch forward can get you hit really easily if you're not set well for it. Yeah, Chambry's in the driver's seat now. Duchesne goes forward, Shembri goes back. Duchesne overcommits, Shembri gets the counter. It's like 3 touches now. Back when I started fencing, I had a rough threaten to duct tape my socks to my knickers because they kept falling down. This was not a tournament where it was worth complaining about. Go high, go low, double. Yeah, all Shembri has to do is keep poking at Duchesne until he commits to something. And Duchesne's really got to take a minute, calm down, collect himself, start setting things up properly. You can probably get away with going in without commitment because Shembri is looking so much for that commitment. Which I think is what he was trying to do, and the Shembri was kind of just well, if you're not going to commit, I'm going to commit and get a touch. Good adjustment by him to keep his eyes open. That's the same long lunge, like 1-2, that just doesn't get him anywhere. No, it worked, but it still wasn't really set up well. At least it wasn't the same overcommitment touch that he had before, so step in the right direction. Big prep there. That's not really going anywhere. He's done it twice. Let's see if there comes a third from Duchesne. There is. Tries to do a disengaged flush. Shembri catches him in probably 2, some outside line. Counters to the flush as it goes around. Duchesne's really struggling now. Sock fix. Should probably tie his shoe or something. And I checked this time. The names are on the right side. It's Duchesne on the right, Shembri on the left. Shembri's just going to wait. He doesn't need to do anything at all. This is the biggest 3-touch lead you'll ever see in fencing. Well, unlike Pele, Duchesne has survived to the 3rd period, and that gives his coach a chance to do some corrections and adjustments, and for him to get his mind back straight. Let's see. If I was Duchesne, I don't know. Shembri is really stifling him. Probably push and pull a lot harder. Push deep into Shembri's territory, into Shembri's distance, then pull back hard. Hope to get Shembri to commit to to either the counterattack that he did for his 6th touch, 7th touch, or lull him into thinking that he goes in close, he won't get it, and then you can get a touch. And then you can build from there. Shembri just needs to stay alert and not think he's won already. Duchesne go back? Nope. Shembri gets the counter. It's a good start, but he has to have the patience to go through the game plan, not just YOLO it and take a shot that he can see. Up and probably works fine, but sometimes you just need to change weapons to get your head on straight. Sometimes looks like the advice was active feet. He took that personally. He does have more active feet, and I think it's probably what he needs. He just needs to be active feet backwards as well as forwards. Now he's got Yeah, there you go. He's got Chambry kind of rattled now for that touch. So all he had to do was wait it out. Still got, it's good adjustment by Chambry now. He's not just ceding distance. He's doing a defense in depth where he pushes every moment Duchesne goes forward, hoping to draw out the wrong reaction from him. Like that. Duchesne stopped doing active feet. Chambry took advantage, flush in with a beat. I think beat flush. That was a really good touch. Same deal. Goes in too far, it gets countered. This must be pushing Duchesne very far out of his comfort zone. Maybe we'll go back and watch an earlier bout of his to see how he fences. Oh, backflip. It's not enough to win. You gotta win with style. That was so pretty. He did up the tempo for a couple of touches. I guess also now. It's not working because he's not doing it right. He's up the tempo, but it's all aggression, and that's not good. You need to up the tempo and have aggression and defense and open the distance and play with the distance. You can't just run at your opponent, or at least you can't just run at an opponent at your level. Duchesne's given up. That was a lazy touch. Chambry just wants to end it. Duchesne wants to go home. He's probably thinking, but I'm French. How can I lose to somebody from the Virgin Islands? I've never even heard of them before. It worked, but he's got 5 more of those to do without a double. This could definitely be the start of a bright future for Ivory Coast fencing. Ivory Coast. That's CIV. This is ISV, Virgin Islands fencing. And victory. Good. Well fought bout by Chambry. So, glances of a good future from Duchesne. I've already forgotten his name. That's bad. Duchesne, I had it right. And all right, now we have our final set. Chambry versus the Hungarian fellow. I'm bad with names, but I can remember how people fence. And now I believe we're on to women's epee finals. Let's see. Homa, Tung, Stefanova, Jonete, Alaraki. Oh, a Nagy. Rote, Schwan. Nagy is a storied name in Hungarian fencing. I don't know if that's a daughter or a sister or a cousin, or unrelated, I guess, but it's going to be interesting. It's like watching somebody with the name Burrell or Pozniakov or something like that show up. It's a relative, or I guess Diveroli now, there's 2 of them. A lot of top families in fencing. Like there are in many sports, to be fair. Manning's most famously in American football. LeBron James's son is about to get drafted. I am hearing that Cruz is in the finals of Cadet Men's Epee and also made the semis in Cadet Men's Foil, quarterfinals. That is insane. The future is terrifying. And here we have Blanca Viragnaghi on the left as a classic left-handed French gripper, and Hama Mizuki on the right as another left-handed but Japanese-style pistol gripper. Two countries where the family name goes first when you say somebody's name. Just everything about Nagi's body language says I'm looking for a counterattack. And I think Homa needs to relax a little bit, and then we'll see stuff. I feel like she's got a lot more than she's showing, even in just this first 50 seconds. And maybe she's hurt, maybe she's tense, but she can do a lot. U.S. fencing also has the Macialises, whose name you totally just butchered the spelling of. A little bit, but you're absolutely right. There's Greg Macialis, who was on the Olympic team in the 80s, and now there's Alexander Macialis, who made the Olympics, and Sabrina Macialis, who is on the team. And Greg is also the coach of M Team, which is where all of the U.S.'s phenomenal foilists are coming from. So certainly the top family in USA fencing today. There were the Smarts, Keith and Aaron. Finally, this is 4-4, which is surprising. Homa's managing to pull through. A lot slower than the men's. And a lot more misses. Homa just went right over Nagi's shoulder. She's lucky to have pulled that out into the second. Nagi, a very grounded fencer, sets up out of distance and then goes in and looks for something. Homa, more standard style, bouncy fencer going in and out. See, look. Stop, extend, go back, pull, extend forward from Nagi. Homa is having a weird amount of trouble with this, and I'm not entirely sure why. But the way Nagi's setting up like that, it should be pretty punishable. And you can see it. Usually, there she got the parry and just missed the counterattack because Nagi managed to go back in time. At least twice she's missed over the shoulder. And there we go. Now she took her time to set up properly, and an easy flush from Homa. And another one. Calm down a little bit, figured out what she's doing. Nagi's got to start moving a little bit more, making it a little bit less obvious when she's starting a prep. Or she's just going to get fleshed 8 more times and be done with it. Seven more times. Especially in the women's game, counterattacking French grippers can be very powerful, up to a certain level. I think Anne Sabula is like that, and she made like 32 in Budapest. But nobody at the top level is like that. And another miss from Homa. Tip just goes right over the shoulder. I don't even think Nagy is really ducking. I think just Homa's missing her extensions. Counterattack from Nagy. Another missed opportunity from Homa. I mean, it's scary attacking a French gripper without the blade, but I think that's what Nagy is looking for, is people to be scared of that, and then she can angle around parries or sneak out through counterattacks. I still think Homa just needs to set up to wait for Nagy to set up, find the timing for her flesh. 3 times in a row she did that and it worked really well, and I haven't really seen Nagy make the right adjustment for that. I think Homa just missed a couple of times and that threw her confidence off. And Nagy really needs to move and hide her setups a little bit more. All right, second period. For all that people say women's epee is slow and boring, which was very common when I was starting out, a little bit less so now. It's 12-9 in the second period, and the second men's semi did not get this far. Oh, good flush from Nagy, great adjustment. Just instead of the setup that Homa was waiting for, just went straight at her. Now Homa needs to make things happen. 13-9. Can't give up another one here. Oh my gosh. Great last second parry from Nagy. Great parry. And now, this is insane. This was such a good bout from Nagy. Just never really let Homa get comfortable, which is the key to it anyway. Homa had better skill and just couldn't get a point on, and then couldn't get comfortable. Probably 3 inches is the difference there in total between all the misses. If you're not sure, we're muted now because David King is on commentary, and I would rather commentate alone than commentate with him. I think that's Lee from Taipei also, which is another new country for me. So, the future of epee is very international. Got some of the same old classics, Korea, Hungary, France. But even, there's Pereira, but not a lot of Spanish fencers outside of him. Not a lot of German fencers. Estonian they try, and I think they're between generations right now. I forget who they have pre-knits and there's somebody besides him, but I can't remember who. Novosilov? Yeah, Nikolai Novosilov. So if Yahoo is good, which he is making top 8, then the future looks bright. All right, here we go. Hungary on the left, Virgin Islands on the right. Remember, Pele was the one who fenced like a foilist on his fleshes. Chambray just waited and took what he was given and rode that to easy victory. You've been a little bit more aggressive here. Suggestion for your description box, include your merch link. I will, because I thought it was already there. There we go. Added the merch link. Kind of a Randy Flesh from Chambry. But so smooth, Pele only pulled a double out of it. But when you're a tall lefty like that, you're happy with a double because you're going to get more of them off your opponent than your opponent will get off of you. If you don't know what that means, oh, that was spicy. That was that same move he tried to pull from the last bout, but he missed. But he was so clean with his arm that he got it back in position before Chambry could do anything. Anyway, the thing about doubles is that sometimes a double, no, didn't work that time. Chambry's more awake for it than Naya was. I forget the other guy's name. So the difference between that touch and the touch before, which are both the same move from Pele, is that time he had Chambry moving backwards, and the other time Chambry held his ground and took the parry. It's a really interesting move because normally you want to go backwards when your opponent is attacking. It gives you more time. But not when Pele is using that attack. Good counterattack from Pele. The advantage of being tall and left-handed when your opponent flushes from out of distance. Go back, go forward. Chambry's immediate response is always preem. I'm not sure there's a lot you can do with that. Can't really get a tight drawer pull on a preem. Oof. Really good from Chambry, just a little bit too big with his blade. She may not have had a choice on, but close touches all around. Close almost touches. Anyway, there are three kinds of doubles. There's doubles where you both do the right thing at the same time, and then you both hit. Can't draw pull when your opponent doesn't parry, which is exactly what happened there. Shemri just went backwards holding his blade, waited for Pele's extension to come close and picked him off on the arm. You have doubles where, same deal. Pele, that attack Pele needs his opponent to be trying to parry. Shemri is not trying to parry, he's just going backwards. And so Pele goes back, goes around, Shemri disengages and is ready for the counter. Pele's got to try something else for sure. It's not bad because if your opponent's an instinctive parrier, as a lot of people are, it's going to be really hard for them to do something else with it. But Shemri's a very smart fencer. Ooh, almost got it still. All right, end of the first. Pele's overusing that move. That's his big problem. It works as a surprise action, but Shemri is not getting caught by surprise. He's expecting it, so he's either disengaging it or counterattacking or going into preem depending on the distance. And largely he's winning the actions even if he's not always getting the touch. If Pele pulled it out once in a blue moon, 2 or 3 more times over the next 2 periods, it'd be a lot more effective for him. Shemri needs to clean up a little bit. He's winning the actions, but he's not always getting the touches. Smaller parries, cleaner actions, and he'll get more touches, and that's the important thing for him. One interesting is that both of these fencers have their arms farther out than you might expect from a senior fencer. Most people on the senior circuit do. And that was a good adjustment from Pele. He did a forceful attack, but his arm out first. And no touch, but no counterattack either. And he held off for a little bit and set it up right, and got the touch off of it. Now Shemri's trying to push and not let him set a long attack up like that. Pele took a risk. It was a calculated risk, but he's not very good at math. Alright, 8-8. Halfway through the bout. Ooh, no, core. We got a card for it? Yeah, jostling. Makes sense. That could be big later. Oh no! How do you miss that? Oh my gosh. The curse of being short. So what happened there was, it was a double touch, but Pele was already past Shemri when he hit. And therefore you know Shemri's touch. You know Pele's touch and awarded to Shemri for a single leg, but you still got to hit the first one. Goodbye, T-Powered Robot. Thank you for tuning in. Good luck on your own stream. Oh no, gotta hit the first, Shemri. You gotta hit the first. Pele asking for video review on turning the back. I don't think Shemri quite did it, but it was close and totally needless. There's no reason to do that. You have to, just gotta hit the first. One there, one there, one there. Can't be the third one, gotta be the first. Touch awarded. Flush double for no reason. I think Pele must be beginning to feel the pressure. That's not a touch anybody wants to do. Long distance now. Probably to Shembri's benefit. Oh my gosh. Absolutely insane. See what happened. Gotta hit that one. Let's see. I don't think there was offhand use, but the ref has a better view on it than I do. Nothing, yeah, touch given. So that's one video down a piece. Pele brought it back. That's now a good flush, purely because he's in the lead. So he flushes at a distance, gets a double. Now he's one touch closer to winning. Shimmer's got to hit that on the hand. He had the counterattack's timing right. He just hit too late. The hand was available and he didn't hit till the back of the shoulder, even if he hit it all. Oh no! Oh, that was so clean. Another one Shemri almost had. Spout's gonna haunt him for the rest of his life and all the touches he was an inch away from getting. All right. Doesn't anybody else in chat have something you want to see? Otherwise, we'll go back and look at some old bouts. What do we got? Oh, it's the women's semis. I like women's epee. Homa, who we saw in the semis, who kept missing over the shoulder, versus Hung Lixiang from Taipei. I wonder where she trains. Another lefty. We're taking over the world. One fencing bout at a time. Very far distance. Very far distance. And if Hong is trying to prep from that far out, this is going to be a long day for her. Yeah. Not only is she trying to work from too far away, but when Homa closes the distance, she doesn't do anything about it. Can't be passive with that. Little step forward from Homa, looking for Hung to do something. There. 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 A little bit close, Hung pulls out the counter. The Japanese logo on the overlay looks like a big red eyeball staring at me. It's so creepy. Hung kind of just getting smothered by Homa. Oh, I know what we were going to do. We were going to watch the The juniors from yesterday. You can do that. Finish this spell, go watch that. Fundamentally, Hong's just not threatening Homa at all, even a little bit. And she does it from out of distance, and Homa just parry posts and almost doesn't even have to take a step back. Step forward, like we talked about, nothing. That's fine, because Homa jumps back like 10 feet. Hung jumps back 10 feet. Homa push. I'm just so far away. And she's fast when she attacks. She's real fast, and you can do a lot of damage with going from slow to fast like that. But you still need your fundamental distance control to do anything with it at a certain point, and that's, I think, what she's lacking a little bit here. All right. We don't. Oh, you're not. I think he gave them non-combativity cards with 3 seconds left. All right, second period. Here we go. And it looks a little bit closer this time. You can see how their tips are a little bit farther crossed over. It's not a great reference point if you're fencing somebody, because there's so much movement of the blade, but for just approximating it when you're watching people fence, it's a good way to look. And that's just to do something now that she's closer. Use that speed. Don't let Homa set up her own touches. The difference between what Hung is doing now and what she did in the first period is that in the first period, she was prepping an action going in, and now she's just stepping into distance and standing there, and then she's going to be ready to do a prep action. That's what I mean when I say she wants to fence. She's fencing from closer distance now. Homa still doing that simple extension, small half-step extension, which is the simplest prep and so dangerous. You can do everything off of that. It's my favorite prep. Little prep, little step. Yeah, Hong needs to... I know, it's a good start. It's a step in the right direction, but it still needs to make something happen at this point. Gotta keep her balance. She's running away. She's just not quite used to this distance yet. It will be, as they say, a good learning experience for her. Better. She's coming back with good footwork now. It's that. It's the jump back. She's throwing a whole body back and trying to get a counter, and it's just not going to work for her. And part of it that she's set up too close without being able to do anything. But part of it is that she's just not pushing back herself at all. That was three jumps where nothing happened. Jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out, jump in, go. But she didn't get any reactions from Mizuka on the first couple, so what's she looking for? From Homa on the first couple. Get it. Nope. No, good opportunity that you couldn't quite close out. I'm not ignoring Homa. She just hasn't done anything different this entire bout. She's just fencing her game. I think Homa is capable of the solution here. I'm not sure she's capable of it within 6 touches. She's still too passive and not comfortable with the distance. She's more than halfway there. She's definitely better than she was in the first period, but and credit to her for still working at it. She's looking for a solution. She's trying new things. She's getting closer. She's not losing her head. But I don't know if she just doesn't train with anybody like Mizuka, or she's tired, or it's just new to her. But she's not figuring it out. She's got the tools to do it, just can't put it all together. I have that same. It's a good one. Let's watch that one again just to see what happened. I was looking at Mizuka. Did it in 2, did it with a beat. It's our first single, maybe our second single. That was better. That was almost a counterattack. Who's got the footwork to go back, go forward, go in, go out? She's just not using it. The last jump she did, she jumps back, she jumps forward, she jumps back a couple more times. Something could happen. Go back like that, and now, it's starting to look like a bout, but not willing to set it up properly. Okay, I'll go watch yesterday, and then maybe we'll be done. Not a lot of viewers today. That was day 8 podium. So we want day 7 podium. Ukrainians have honestly been phenomenal, especially in juniors and cadets, considering everything that's going on with them. It's awful that the FA has let the Russians back in, and they should absolutely reverse that decision. Anyway, Anna Maximenko versus Alicia Klasik, probably. The classic Polish mask that looks like they're wearing an eye mask. Fence with the force. Feel your opponent. Very active fencing from Maximenko, despite the fact that she's a lanky French gripper. Normally you'd see them to be a lot more patient. She's absolutely going for everything. Just the way you have to do it. This is a good bout for a non-combativity bout. Let's do a commentary check. Is David King talking? Yes, he is. It says something that I have to wait that long to find out if he's on the mic. A lot of very non-committal commitments. Because you commit and that happens. A lot of long attacks from Maximenko, looking for probably classic to be going backwards after a step forward, but not quite far enough. Classic's probably looking to go forward when Maximenko goes into a long lunge. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. And double. Good flush from Classic. They're active and they're looking for touches, but not a lot of high commitment stuff from either one. So every touch is going to be super important. Not a lot to change for either side. They're still poking and prodding. It's just going to be very minor adjustments here. Maximenko takes 6. Take 6. Classic with that half step extension that we talked about from the Japanese lady, I forget her name. A little bit of a different change there where Classic takes a second step forward, Maximenko duck counters. Ooh. Good deep 4 from Maximenko. Classic is trying to go left and gets completely tangled up. And then the eventual late hit. Good equalizer from Maximenko. Good patience as well. That was a very tempting counterattack opportunity. Oh. These kids can't hit the target. This is the third or fourth bout with a very necessary touch that neither fencer got. Poke, 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 poke. Yeah, there it is. Maximenko finally gets the timing right on Klasik's retreat. With that long attack she has. Now she's in the driver's seat. She's starting to figure things out on Klasik with either the fore or the attack. Klasik's response is probably going to be that. Take it one step farther from what Maximenko is looking for and parry replace on her long attack. And there it is in variation with a counterattack. But finding the timing Maximenko is looking for on her long attack, giving it to her, but at Klasik's choice. I missed that one. Just caught Maximenko flat-footed. That was a good 3 touches in a row from Klasik. Well done by her. Shout out to both fencers' shoelaces, which you probably can't have any obvious Ukrainian representation because it's the FIE. But blue and yellow shoelaces, what are they going to do? They can't make you change your shoelaces. Who brings extra shoelaces? Four in a row now from Klasik. It's 7-5. It was 5-3. End of the second. So pretty good by Klasik. We said Maximenko had 2 options, which was the late parry or the attack. And Klasik has neutralized both of them by drawing out the attack and not attacking herself. Let's see what Maximenko can do to change it. Possibly turn it into a 2-tempo attack. Ooh, that was excellent from Klasik. Step back, draw the attack, see the opening. That's so hard to do when you've picked your foot up after a foot charge. That long lunge like that, to get that in time. Very hard, very well done. Another one from Klasik to make it 6 in a row. And that's the downside now of being someone who looks for counterattacks, although Maximenko isn't really. But Maximenko's one offensive option is neutralized completely, and she has nothing else. She has a defensive option, but she can't use it because Klasik's just never going to attack. Oh, that was amazing. Maximenko absolutely thought she'd gone off the back of the ship. Classic just barely catches herself, sees the touch hasn't done. And, don't look at the box, as they always say. So a good adjustment really by Maximenko is to push Classic so far that she has to attack. It almost worked the first time, a little bit less well that time. It's a problem if you wait till you're 5 touches down to make an adjustment, 4 touches down. You gotta score perfectly every time. You gotta be adjusting constantly throughout the bout. See, now Maximenko's coming in with a lot more searches. Means Classic's looking for a lot more attacks. A lot more opportunities to attack and prep. Maximenko will take that opportunity to parry, but doesn't quite have the patience to pull it off. It's a stressful way to fence on both sides. There it is. There's the 4 we were talking about. And hey, she's starting her comeback sooner than other people we've watched, so. Ooh, not quite there. But same deal. If Classic's not going to launch a good attack for her, she has to be patient enough. Maximenko has to be patient enough to push Classic all the way back to the end of the piece. Alright, not bad. There it is. Got Classic off distance made Classic get out of balance to dodge the first one. Came back, pulled the second one. Got the hit. Ooh. Oh. Great action by Classic. She knows Maximenko is looking for her attack. She fakes it, pulls back, fakes it again, gets Maximenko out of distance. Great counterattack. That was set up the sequence before. And finished. Excellent little bout. Nicole Feigen from Israel versus Hadley Hussisian from the States. I've actually fenced Hadley. She was 11 and she was phenomenal. Hadley a very upright righty pistol grip. Nicole a lefty French grip, but not really but a lot more forward body language than a lot of the other ones. Good counterattack by Hadley. Good counterattack again by Hadley, a little bit out of distance from Feigen. Hadley's just not letting her close at all. Now they're getting a little bit closer. Probably largely Feigen's touch. Even though it came out a double, that was closer to what she wanted to do than what Hadley wanted to do. At some point, Hussisian has to flush into this big step forward from Feigen. I don't know when though. I don't know if she will. That might be exactly what Feigen's looking for. A little bit more abstract bout, let's say, than the first semi, which was a lot of blade work and preps and not a lot of commitment. Here we have a lot more commitment and much simpler actions. Good counter again. Feigen's being active and feeling of solutions, but just can't get around that counter. Can't get close enough. A little bit less pushy from Feigen. Learn to go back a little bit more. Probably a good change. Hussein's staying patient. She's only made about one real offensive action the entire bout, which was a double. The problem is, once again, we're going to have non-combativity with 2 seconds left, and it's going to be silly. Let's see if Feigen can make something happen. Nope. 13 seconds left. Still a little bit less silly, but not a lot less silly. All right, another first. Hussein's got a good game plan of forcing Feigen to attack from out of distance. Feigen has to find a solution to closing the distance without getting counterattacked, without overcommitting. Which I think is really still just push Hussien to the end of the strip. Because Hussien hasn't shown any reluctance to be pushed, as far as that goes. There we go, pushing her all the way back. And a double, because very good counterattack from Hussien. But a better start from Feigen, although she's got a long way to go. She's got a long way to go, but she's got a lot of time and a lot of space to do it in. It's only 2-6. Oh, better than what she wants. That 6 low attack. Hadley just scrapes around and it gets the counter. That's the right idea from Feigen. Feigen. Feigen caught the blade, missed the attack. Hussien slides around it. The perfect disengage and catches her on the wrist. Really nice touch from Hussien. Really nice touch again from Hussien. Hard to beat a French gripper to the wrist. I really thought that was going to be at least a double. No, Feigen's changed it enough to get doubles out, but it's 10-4. She's got to push a little harder. That's something different, at least. It's a good start. Oh, finally made it happen. Changed the prep step a lot, got Hadley to jump at the wrong one, caught it in 6 and countered. Or posted. Did it again, but didn't quite get the point on. Oh, almost a great touch again. Feigen got Husisian jumping, caught her in 8. Husisian still managed to counter parry somehow and got the touch. And again, Feigen gets a very nice parry and misses the riposte. A lot of misses today. Another one, she keeps coming around and preem like that and it's just not working out for her. And a double. It's been closer to an even period, but it's not enough for Feigen, and that's probably the end of it. 7-2. No chance. Not with the way Hadley's getting it on the counterattacks. Even when Feigen wins the action, she can't get the touch. And now she's jumping like that, jumping for the 6. Hadley will take doubles all day, and Feigen doesn't have a choice. And end. All right, junior men's epee. All right, Teo Brochard versus Samodi Soma, which is a phenomenal name. Holy cow. That's so much fun to say. And skill check from Samodi that Brochard passes. 5 seconds in, 1-0. Love watching cadet men's epees. They're just junior men's epees. They're just so exuberant and so random. There's a 3 tempo action, 6-2 go. Samodi dodges. Pardon me. Richard catches Samodi standing. Runs in, does a weird action, gets it to work. Nope, went past, but not great all around from Samodi. He needs to calm down. Still needs to calm down. Hello, Lucy B. We're watching the Junior Epee from yesterday. because I saw too many people complaining about David King. And so far we have Taylor Bouchard kind of wiping the floor with Samodi Soma. Flush off the line, never a good idea to get hit by that. Sloppy, weird touch. Somebody can't rely on those, I don't think. He's got to find something he can replicate to bring this back. Bouchard going for that very modern 4. If you go off the end of this ship, your opponent should get a point. It's like they do on either end of the ship. That was silly by Bouchard. That was a gift to Samodi. He just slammed his blade down flat. Samodi didn't even take a parry. Bouchard parried himself. Samodi is just getting all tangled up. You cannot end up in this situation. Look at this. This is insane. This is not Epee. This is try to take a 4, go all the way around. This is not. Coach is gonna take a video of that and show him to that for the rest of his life. Even that looked awkward. That was not a clean counterattack. I think Bouchard shorted his shot and pulled his arm back. That's why he didn't get the touch, but not a good action from Samodi. Yeah, Samodi's out of it now. He's so wild and out of control. He's just always contorted into bad situations, and he doesn't have any reach because of it. Bouchard's giving him touches. Like, Bouchard parried himself again on that one, and Samodi could not do anything with it because he's going so far back. He's just all awkward up like that. Another gift from Bouchard. There's no reason you should be flushing that. There we go. See? That's what Bouchard needs to do. Wait for Samodi to come in and just deal with it, because Samodi's not doing any good attacks. They're not seriously threatening attacks from Samodi. They're too awkward. Same deal. Bouchard's going in and his arm is lagging and he's whiffing, and it's not a good attack. And then Samodi is getting the touch, but there was another one that Bouchard gifted him. They're set up okay, but they're not executed well from Bouchard. His arm is lagging his body, and it's making his tip go off target. I still think we're going to see another touch with 5 seconds left. No. Okay. Okay, so number one, first and foremost, both of these fencers need to calm the fuck down. And they need to get their arms sorted out. Both of them are having serious issues with their arm being late and in an awkward position, and it is throwing both of them off. Bouchard is flushing with his arm back, and his timing is off, so his arm is back and he's landing flat or not landing at all. Soma is coming in somehow with his arm like in 4 and then trying to spin around like that, and then ended up twisted up like a pretzel and can't get a touch. Just bad fencing all around. Core. Possible jostling. Certainly Brochard thinks so. Somebody did kind of jump into him. It's not the worst call in the world if he gets it. Survey says not. But Brochard got like a meter of space, so good for him. That's the longest Simone's arm has been out this entire bout. And a normal touch. Kind of a randy lunge from Simodi, but at least it was with full extension. And a normal parry from Brochard that he landed the first touch. What a novelty. Again, not a touch Brochard needs to be doing. This has been entirely his bout. He's fencing both sides. That was a good touch from Simodi, and it might be the first one this bout. But there's no reason he should have been able to hit Brochard with it. There we go. Now we got some defense and depth. Normal fencing. Good. I think that was a 2 from Brochard to riposte. Good on Brochard not to throw another one right to Simodi, because it looked like it was about to. Good full extensor from Brochard. He's not slamming his tip into Simodi's bell anymore. Simodi looks like he's done. Pretzeling again. I've never seen somebody at this high level twist up so much, in Epee at least. Foil, they do it sometimes, but foil, they do it better. They don't end up with a tip vertical, they end up with a tip. That was a really good touch. That was Simodi late low, knowing Brochard likes to jump, and then pulling in the jump, and then going forward. Again, same deal, and there's no reason Brochard should be lunging into that. But Simodi, he got the double out of it. That's probably the bout. Yeah, 13-11 now. That's how it usually goes. Is Brochard gets a couple fencing well, gives him back fencing poorly. See, that's Simodi teapotting. He's entirely on his front leg. If he'd have made a lunge, maybe he would have scored. I missed that one, actually. Where did he hit him? Flick on the wrist? Yeah. He looks tired, honestly. All right. 3 more bouts before we're done for the day. All right. Muhammad Yassin versus Samuel Imrek. Sam is famous in certain circles for a very idiosyncratic and unique style of fencing. He sort of curved his back, his arms very far back, late extensions. Muhammad Yassin is a much more classical style, but he's jumpy and weird in his own right. Let's see what we got. Weird body feints from Sam. Grip shift. Shift it forward to extend. Shift it back to go back. Foot shot. Yassin's doing well not to react to any of this, really. Which is all you can do, is be patient and wait for opportunities. If you get caught up in Imrek's weirdness, you're just going to end up hit 15 times. Because he's better at dealing with the weirdness than you are, because he has more practice. Because it's his weirdness. There are good fundamentals there. Sam knows his distances very well. And he's doing it exactly where he is to draw exactly the reaction he wants. You jump in with your arm behind your hip. There's only one thing your opponent's going to do ever. And if you know what he's going to do, it's very easy to do something like that. And if your body language and your body position, your hand position changes that much, it's very hard for your opponent to accurately judge the distance between you. So they're always off foot trying to fix their distance. Makes it harder for them to launch their own attacks, harder for them to go forwards and backwards because they're not set. It means all of your actions work better. He's going forward with his body, but he's going back with his hand. He's going forward with his hand, but he's changing the grip position, which is a little bit illegal, really. You can't let go when you're going forward. But they never thought about people choking up on the grip while they're going forward. Kind of like Mo El Sayed or Heinzer. They're always a bit chaotic, so you shouldn't try to match it. That is exactly right. Heinzer walked so Imrek and El Sayed could run. You absolutely need to watch just figure out their distance and go for it. And keep yourself settled. I watched Heinzer against a Japanese fencer whose name escapes me at Budapest. It's 15-14. I've never seen somebody went about and looking more confused than I did that guy. Minobi, that's who it was. I can't believe I forgot his name. All straight attacks in 15-14 because Heinzer was doing the strangest things. He's definitely on his own level. Imrek's calmed down. He's looking for a single flush now because he's not doing anything else. Or he's just waiting for the period to end. Yeah, Minobi, you're right. Alright. It was Heinzer who's doing the weirdest stance. Minobi is an electric and fast and clever fencer, but he's not anything like Heinzer. It was Heinzer who was like fencing like an eagle. And it was very confusing for Minobi. It really is just all about distance, though. Heinzer, Imrek, El Sayed. You just have to be so sharp against them because they know exactly the distance they're doing it at. And Heinzer especially, because I've watched him a lot more than the two juniors, is so clean. Everybody knows him for wild blade actions and back flicks and crazy stuff. But all his blade actions are technical perfection. He does exactly the motion he needs and not a bit more, and that's why he can do it the way he does. Imrek's not quite there yet from a technical perspective. That's because Max has been on top of the game as long as Imrek's been alive. Let's see. Heinzer has been in seniors since 2004, where he was 176th. See, that was a great example. Imrek still got control even when he's going in full tilt to realize he's failed, stop and go back and dodge the counterattack from Yassin. Forward actions back and you forgot what I'm talking about. That's because so much is happening in this bout. Imrek is so crazy. But that's what Yassin has to do just to start, is to be able to get counterattacks and force Imrek to abort like that. And then either overcommit harder so that Imrek can't abort, or wait for Imrek to still overcommit. What he can't do is something like that, where he overcommits and Imrek just feasts on that. Good flush though. Let's watch that one more time. Yeah, so that was the second option of find the timing where Sam wants to abort and then go so hard he can't abort. So yeah, Sam was born about the year Heinzer joined senior competition. Reasonable double. You'll take what you can get when you're Yassin. Anything you can do to get touches against Imrek is going to be good. He's too jerky, I think. It's not good when I see it when somebody is that jerky like Yassin is. I think it makes you a little bit less precise and a little bit easier to read. There we go, now he's smoothed out. Take the double. Got to push a little harder maybe, or wait go a little bit sooner, or not go if you're going to get a single there, but getting the double is good enough. What you cannot do is try to weird out the weird ones. You just got to go deeper into your own game, simplify, do what you do best, and let their weirdness burn itself out. I'm fencing like a turtle. I actually fenced a guy once who fenced like a turtle. It was strange, and I didn't like it. I didn't win, and I felt like I should have. But somebody beats you. Oh, that was phenomenal. Good counter from Yassin. Imrek trying for the foot. Yassin sees it coming, picks the arm off on the way in. Never say somebody, oh, great flesh from Yassin. He's really put this back together now. He notices when Imrek goes all the way back that he just stops and waits, and Yassin waits for him to stop and then goes. All right, end of the second, 7-7. Really, really good fencing from Mohammed Yassin. I wish I had the belt sounds. No break critiques because Yassin's doing what he needs to do, and I have no idea how to tell Sam to fence differently. That worked, but see if we can keep it going. Yassin basically has to be able to interrupt that. Like that. I think he's going to have his arm farther out for it. It's not like I think he should. It's that I think that's what he's doing. Like that, his arm's farther out. It's tricky because he was sure there was a halt. Oh, that's so frustrating. Could have been core. Maybe worth a replay. Got to be a little bit more active on Sam's step forward. Yassin does, just to either get space like that or make something else happen like that. That was phenomenal. Really good flush into prep. And if I'm Yassin, I'm not really pushing like this at all. I'm waiting for that. I'm purely waiting for the attack and prep that's worked for him like 5 times now. Just keep, every time Sam steps forward, put pressure. Every time, if Sam goes back, fine. If he keeps going, then you're already set to hit him. But you got him thinking, and you got him, yeah, like that. I'm going to watch that one again. Watch that one again. Big jump forward. And even though Sam's in parry position, Yassin still gets a flush in. You can't give Sam the respect and the distance that you would against somebody else, because that's when he can build his actions, that's when you're gonna get hit. You froze the screen yesterday for a screenshot. Yeah, that was a sick touch. I wish we had posters in fencing of people that you could put them on your wall and things. That would be really cool. Another double. On one level, that's good for Yassin. On the another level, it's good for Sam because it means he's adjusting. And instead of getting hit with singles, he's getting doubles. Yep, another good flush into prep from Yassin. Sam needs, my theory is Sam needs to simplify and not do the big prep steps anymore. But I don't know Sam's game well enough to be able to really say that. Small big step he's doing. Yassin's really feeling himself now. 14-11. To see if he can close it out. Nope, it's too far. Oh, he got it! Wow. I have no idea what that means, but I assume it's good. Great fencing by Yassin. Really well done. All right, we got the finals. Classic versus Hussein. You should all know of trying very hard not to make a classic joke. Classic, like a classic bout. All right, we got pistol, pistol, French grip. No, pistol, pistol, lefty, righty. A lot of feeling each other out still. This is a much more normal bout than anything involving Sam Imrek. And non-combativity. If the FIE messes with non-combativity again, it's going to be to make it more punishing, because too many bouts are starting with non-combativity even when they get exciting later. I think Classic is looking for Husseini's counterattack right now. She's pushing in 4 and then coming back to 6 and trying to catch Husseini's blade. But Hussein isn't biting. She's trying to draw Classic into an attack anyway. Yeah, it's hard to see what the blades are doing without sound and from this angle. But it looks like Classic is doing opposition 4 to try to take the blade and then coming back into 6 to finish if she feels like she's got it. This is seeing too big of a disengage. Was up here, came all the way down here, needs to come down here, and then maybe she gets a double out of that. But Classic is pressing so frequently, Husseini's just looking for to respond to her preps at her distance. See if she can get Classic to make a mistake. She doesn't need to really set anything up herself, or at least not offensively. She doesn't need to draw any actions from Classic. She's getting the action. She just needs to draw them at the right moment, which is still a prep, but a different sort. But I think she's giving her a little bit too much space. I think if Husseini made Classic work a little bit harder, she'd get more out of it. And I think Classic is not getting what she wants. I'm not sure if that means she should just attack anyway if she's not getting a response, or if she just needs to be patient and wait for it. Had to go forward, had to go back. Classic switched to a direct extension prep, threatening space, and then choosing targets after that. It's 1 to the hand, 1 to the body, 1 to the foot, 1 to 8. No, 1 prep, many second actions off of that. And clash, and Husseini comes out on top, but not a lot to learn from that one. It helps to switch who you focus on over the course of the bout as you see different things. When you're roughing, you need to look at the space between the fencers, but that gives you a better view of what's happening, but not as good a view of the flow of the bout. So we spent a while looking at Classic. Now let's look at Husseini. Both lunge, both miss, both redouble, and get a double. Sissin's not doing a lot with her blade, just controlling the distance with her feet, waiting for exactly that sort of opportunity to lunge in for a single light. Or, an opportunity where Classic lunges and Sissin can take parry or hit a counterattack or something, but that's what she's looking for. Classic's doing all the preparations, and Sissin is just trying to make sure she does it from out of distance and overcommits. Can you score after you dropped your blade? Yes. If the light goes off, they're going to give you the point. Good clean lunge from Sissin. This is really what it comes down to, is control of the distance wins. We saw this in the men's semi with Yassin and Imrek, and we're seeing it now with Sissin and Classic here. Classic is doing all the work. Sissin is setting the distance, and so Classic just can't get a light on. And when she can, they've mostly been doubles. That's another straight clean lunge from Sissin. One might have been a feint and 4 disengaged to 6. If you're watching and you don't know what that means, the options of attack in Epee are in fencing are called lines. Every line gets a number. If you're attacking inside and high, that's 4. So inside your body and high, that's 4. If you're attacking outside your blade and high, that's 6. So if you're attacking 4, then you disengage, that's a spin around their blade, and you go 4 to 6. I wonder who Sissin's like now when she has to attack. She's never been behind that we've seen. And here we are going to here we are in the finals. Yeah, Classic needs to control the distance. She needs to be more aware of it and control it. So Hadley's blade stopped working when she came on guard. And I think that's technically supposed to be a card, but maybe not. Look at Classic, see what she can do. Not much. Still trying to make things happen without really fighting Sissin for control of the distance. Hello, Karamek. I am doing well. How are you? like to see her. It looks like she's setting the same distance every time she does something. I'd like to see her go in closer. Really nice slip from Hussein. Knowing Classic was going to be trying for a 6, she gave her the 6 and then slid into, really a low line. Slipped into 8 technically. Looks like Classic's a little bit closer. And pulls a double out of it, but that's not great at this stage. It's been a lot of blowouts. A couple of good bouts, but today and this is yesterday's bouts. A lot of blowouts in the semis and finals. See if Classic can make something off of that next time. Any miss from Hussein has got to be a touch for Classic. It's 2 she couldn't take advantage of. That's pretty bad. At this level. Obviously, the better your opponents, the harder it is to take advantage, but the better you need to be. That was a feint from Hussein. I think that wasn't really meant to score. You went to Plovdiv with the Czech fencing crew as a spectator and had a great time. I'm really jealous. That sounds really cool. I love these multi-day tournaments. What was your favorite part? Why can't we have commentary like this in the official stream? Because, I don't know, write your FIE representative and tell them you want me to commentate. You probably can actually do that, whoever your fencing federation rep is. Although I'm sure they have bigger things to worry about right now. Double out from Classic, 13-8. Probably 2 more doubles at 15-10. It's a respectable score, but never been that close. Also, hardly ever been in Classic's half of the strip, which is never good. Good touch from Classic finally. Sissy trying to draw that 6 again, but Classic catches it so forcefully and goes forward with it so hard that she manages to get the touch. And Hussein comes right back and punishes her again. The Polish leg decoration is the worst. Looking at it now, it's just the flag on the leg. Use the space. Have some creativity. Not the USA's is much better, but at least they use the space. Let's hear Hadley scream.
The U.S. coach. And that will do it.
Let it out, Hadley. Come on.
They're both going to age out. This is their last shot at the juniors. What better way to go?
Wow, that was amazing.
Silver medal.
You love the Junior Epee. I am also loving the Junior Epee. You will be 3rd on the Czech leaderboard. You should absolutely compete. Absolutely, no question. That would be amazing. It would be a life experience you'll remember for the rest of your life. Did you do cadets this year? Nope. There we go. All right, Mohamed Yassin, Teo Brochard. 2 more lefties. We are taking over the world. But 2 a little bit more standard looking epeists. A lot of searching from Yassin for the blade. A lot of spinning. Richard starting to respond to respond to the openings that gives him. You spin the blade, there's always a little bit open. Well, good luck to you, Karmic 10. And passivity. That was interesting because it really looked like Theo Rochard won that touch. But maybe he's used to doing that against a rating more. You've seen manage to get the counterattack in. Maybe Rochard missed. He was missing a lot in that last one. A lot of self parries. Been a long day of recording. All 3 hours of it. So Yassine took a while to figure out Emrek, but once he did, boy did he ever. So I wonder if it's going to be the same thing here. A lot of nothing for a long time until he figures out what he's looking for from Rochard, and then just heaps and heaps of touches. Good patience from Yassine. That was a very, very strong feint from Rochard. 8-6 and then going in and then stopping. I mean, to try to draw Yassine in, but he didn't bite. First time we've seen a double non-combativity, at least in the cadets and the juniors that we've been watching today. If Rochard feeds off his opponent like I think he does, Yassine's in a really good shape now. Rochard really needs his opponent to give him things to work with, extensions, parries, something. He can't. I don't think he's that good at going straight. But he is good at applying a lot of pressure and drawing out attacks. But Yassine will not commit. He's very, very patient in a very good way. He's active but patient. So it's going to be a hard bout for Rochard, I think. He spent this whole time trying to get in and couldn't, straight up. So he's got to figure out a way to make Yassine attack. To do that, he has to threaten him. But will he? That's the question. I suspect my prediction is going to start with a wrist touch from Rochard, if it starts. It's going to start with a wrist touch. I think it will start. You don't get to this level without being unable to attack. Well, it wasn't a wrist touch, but he did manage to get something going. Sloppy as he ever is. Let's see what we got now that we're back to even. More of the same, mostly a little bit less aggressive from Rochard. Yassine sliding left. And goes in. It jumps a half a tempo ahead. He was in and out with the rhythm with Rochard, and then jumped a half tempo ahead and caught Rochard flat-footed. Similar in reverse from Rochard. Forced Yassine to jump backwards, forced him to go flat-footed. because he was so close to the end he couldn't keep going backwards, so he had to stop himself and took that opportunity to score. Ooh, good one from Brochard. Very good touch. Nice 6 flush. See if we can figure out what's going on, what's changed. So it's a good adjustment from Brochard to pull the lead, but if we're right about Yassine being one of the guys who figures out his opponent, got a long way to go. Oh, that was phenomenal. Yassine, sick of letting Brochard come to him, pushes him down the strip. There's a nice long lunge, goes around the 4, scores. And double. Brochard takes the initiative again, but Yassine goes a little bit, isn't quite as patient, pulls out a double. Yassine probably wants the doubles more than Brochard does, because the longer it goes, it's probably favorable to Yassine. And we're back to waiting. Oh, almost really good from Yassine, but it's what we were talking about from Brochard, where he needs his opponent to give him stuff. Yassine gives him a counterattack. Brochard takes it and scores. And there's another one from Yassine where he isn't willing to be pushed back. He's got to start building off of that. Oh my god, my title's misspelled. And I just noticed. I've been here 3 hours. Juniors has an O. And none of you told me. This is all your fault. Yassine's got to push more. He's got to be more aggressive with it. Even that's good, because if Brochard doesn't pin him at the back line, he has the space to go back and stay balanced. It's only really a problem for him when Brochard launches something like that and Yassine's at the back line. End of the second, 7-6. So we got ourselves a bout here. 2 solid game plans that haven't quite been executed to perfection, mostly because of their opponents. Yassine needs to give himself space to go back in and then push Brochard back to do that. Brochard needs to force Yassine to respond with something other than a retreat, while not overcommitting to his prep steps to do that. Should be a good barn burner of a final period. A great way to end the night, day, evening, morning, wherever you are. You can tell I'm getting tired because my voice is shooting up an octave. This is my announcing voice, and this is my really tired voice. Looking already a little bit more active from Yassine, not quite as willing to be pushed back. Brochard hasn't overcommitted yet. 15 seconds we've been in this period. There we go. Brochard pushed, ran out of steam, and Yassine had the space he needed to go backwards. Yeah, Yassine being just a little bit more aggressive than he was for the first one, and good things happen when you listen to what I tell you to do. Hire me to coach your kids. See if he can keep it up. It seems a little bit uncomfortable for him. That is first. Oh, that was phenomenal. Micrometers away from Yassine, an excellent parry from Brochard. Excellent attack from Rochard. Not replicable, but between this one and the last one, he's a very strong lead. Sometimes it's the little tiny things like that you need. Just caught his opponent by surprise once. Probably can't do it again, but I don't think he needs to. That was a really good touch at a really crucial time. Yeah. I've seen pushing a little bit more. Burchard not quite as willing to commit. You've seen feeling the pressure a little bit more, I think. That's not a counterattack he's done before. He's always just gone back and reset before, which is the better solution for him. That's not part of his game plan. Or at least it shouldn't be. Yeah, that's better. That's Burchard trying to recreate the magic of that ninth touch and not getting it. But because he got that ninth touch, he still got one up on him, which is so crucial here. Oof. They figured each other out, their distances now, and then just barely dodging each other. Ooh. Good footwork pattern from Yassine to pull back, push forward, fake back, catch Rochard flat-footed, go around the parry, equalizer. Excellent touch. And a double, nothing done. Yeah, that's the push forward Yassine needs. Now he's pinned, so this should be Burchard's double. Yassine not willing to let himself be pinned gets a double out of it instead of the single he was getting at the beginning of the bout. So good double from him. Nope. Very bad from Yassine. Very bad. If you flush, you have to keep going exactly so that doesn't happen. He's lucky he didn't get the first one. That Burchard wasn't awarded that touch. Oh. So close. Yassin's starting to feel the pressure a little bit. Let's see if he can keep it up just to close out the bout. Switching weapons, good. Gets his head in gear. What about the time? Did the time keep running? Oh. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Ideally, you should not have to care about what weapon you get. Because they're all identical. In practice, nobody has identical epees. And you feel very strongly about it. Looks a little bit better now. Oh my gosh, that was so close. Oh my gosh, that was phenomenal. What a great preem from Yassine. That was such a good touch. Oh, that was beautiful. That was amazing. This is a barn burner. I'm loving this bout. Can't wait to watch these guys on the circuit for the next 15 years. Yassine is not giving an inch. Burchard is trying to reset and build a long attack, and Yassine will not let him. Is he going to catch him in distance when he goes back? This is what Harmerberg was talking about when he talks about Olympic touches, when it's 3-3 with 3 seconds left and time expires. Oof. My heart, man. Can't handle all this pressure. All right, priority to the right. This is what they mean when they say Olympic touches. In overtime, you always go to what you know best. But you gotta stick to your game plan. You know what works and you know what doesn't by this point in the bout. Scene's going backwards. Oh, he got it! Oh, that was amazing.
Charm the referee does.
Go back, forward.
And he does.
There's the drawer pull that we always talked about.
Third time's the charm. The
phenomenal bout.
Consult the video before making the call. Wow. What a finish. What an absolute finish. You couldn't have asked for anything better than that. And
that was wonderful.
3 times.
Okay, you can be quiet now, David. Well, that was a fun way to spend a couple of hours. Anybody have anything else they really want to watch? Otherwise, we'll call it here. All right. Well, thank you all for joining me. I'll see you probably next week for, I don't know, figure it out. Definitely fencing.